Hey everyone, we're back. This is our second episode of, I guess, just Shadowrun backer. So if this is your first time tuning in, we had a backer reward game a few weeks ago, and we all had so much fun. We decided to keep it going. So we're seeing about monthly or so. We'll see if we have more availability. Everyone on here, I think, is pretty busy. Less busy now that we're all in isolation, but in quarantine. But welcome. So hi, Stainless Steel Devil Rat. So we are going to be launching here our second episode run by Aaron. And we've got a couple updates for you. So first, we're going to introduce our cast. We have a little bit of a rotating cast, so Scott isn't with us today. So in place, we have Tom. Do you want to introduce yourself, Tom?
Hi, my name is Tom. I go by Teslon Kieran Hawk online everywheres. I'm a Catalyst demo agent. That's how I got into Shadowrun. And I've been participating in Rem Alternis for the last year and a half.
Yeah, Tom has been huge behind the scenes for us. Everything that you see on our website, everything that looks nice comes from Tom and not me.
Sorry,
Aaron?
I didn't hear you say that. Hey, I'm Aaron. I'm currently going to be GMing this. I've been basically similar to Tom. I've been helping out as a Catalyst demo agent for a few years now, and had the opportunity to write some of the missions last year, as well as some of the missions that are coming up for the next season's worth of conventions if we have them. Either way, those missions are going to come out, and hopefully everybody will have a chance to explore Neo Tokyo and the location for the next season. You can find me on Twitter, or also I have a Twitch channel as well where I stream Shadowrun every Sunday. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to having some fun today.
Yeah, we should post your guys' Twitches on the bottom of the stream if we can at some point.
Yep, I'll get that fixed.
Cool. Tagashi Jack, you want to go?
Hi, I'm Tagashi Jack. I'm going to be playing a character named Patho today. I think my contact information is already just hiding underneath me. I stream periodically on Twitch, but other than that, for Shadowrun, I am a CDT demo agent, and a little redundant there, but what have you. I work primarily out of the Shadowrun missions online, which has actually quite a few missions available for sign up right now if you guys are interested.
Cool. I wonder if you guys are going to be picking up now that people are a little freer.
I think over the next 3 weeks right now, there are 8 missions that are currently available for sign up. Some of them might have actually filled, but
wow.
There are quite.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you want more Shadowrun and you want to play yourself, make sure you check out. I'm sure Tagashi, you post about that people can find it.
Yeah, I'll well, I rarely use my Twitter. I'll post a link actually in your in the Twitch chat, so
Perfect.
anyone that's seeing it can.
Cool.
Then afterwards,
and
afterwards I'll get a link to SRMO on your page so people can find it.
Thanks. And last but certainly not least, we have Eric DeMage.
Yes, I am Eric DeMage, Shadowrun superfan. If there's anything going on in Shadowrun, I try and support it in one way or another, but I don't actually produce very much in the way of content, except for an occasional contribution to the Arcology or the Ziggy, the Shadowrun Philosopher Troll podcast. And it's great to be here.
Awesome. See, you're producing content now.
Well, that's true. I started.
Starting that portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome again, guys. Just to give you a little update, we are wrapped on shooting from Chicago Shadows. We managed to pull it off just before the outbreak shut down Chicago, so that's awesome. I got to see a rough cut of it, and it's really freaking cool. It doesn't have coloration, sound, or CGI yet, and it still looks awesome. So I'm super excited. So hopefully we'll be on schedule for their due date for that, so we can submit to cons and festivals, assuming they're still going. But in the meantime, watch our Twitter and Facebook and website. We're dropping content constantly in terms of behind the scenes photos. A new backer story has been released. So about Orc Sniper in the latest episode, well, season 1. And there's all kinds of cool stuff coming. So we're doing a lot behind the scenes, trying to promote small vendors during this outbreak of COVID and boost that isolation, make it not feel so bad. So stay tuned, watch our social media, all the news on that. Does anyone have anything else before we just kick off into the game?
Doesn't sound like it. As a note, the internet has been under stress because of a lot more people at home. And so if we run into any technical difficulties, we will be back as soon as possible. But there may be some issues that pop up here and there. We're going to do our best to make sure it's super entertaining for you. I know I've had a bit of internet issues over the last few days. Awesome.
You and me both.
It's been fun. All right, so we're gonna start off with a little bit of Shadowrun. So each of you is contacted by your fixer. Your fixer says, "Hey, I've got word of an upcoming job opportunity. Pay looks probably a little too high. I'd be a little bit worried, but you know, I just want my cut. If you want, give this comlink a call. They've got the amount of information that will help you. You're looking for a guy named Fox. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't have any other information." And so he drops off the line. When you guys give that line a call, you see yourself in a sort of a group call similar to what you would see in Discord with a number of other Shadowrunners. And across the table from the virtual table is a well-dressed gentleman, very small glasses, a neat gray suit, basically, and his left hand playing with a cigar. It doesn't appear to be lit. He's thank you for attending my meeting. I love to do these in person, so if you don't mind, and you're interested in a job, I am looking for a smart group of runners that don't have a huge amount of morals, but have a deep need for new yen.
Like most people, my morals can definitely be put on hold for sufficient price.
All right. I don't want to get too much in the details, but the work may be questionable, although I don't deal in wet work, so hopefully that will provide you with fantastic opportunities.
Fair enough.
Hey, Chummers, if it doesn't put me on a watch list for terrorism, I think we can make a deal.
It's a job. I need a job.
Perfect. I look forward to seeing you. If you would, please join me at the hole in the wall. It's located out in Puyallup. I know, not the highest of wonderful areas. But meet me there tonight at, say, 9 p.m.
Okay.
Awesome.
I don't say anything, I just hang up.
Cool. Is there any sort of information you want to try to dig up before heading out there, or?
I would do a general matrix perception on the image of the guy that we talked to.
Sure. Why don't you give me a matrix? So a matrix search.
Okay. Give you 1 second. Sorry.
And then as we get there, Aaron, I'll scope out in the astral.
Okay.
Come on. Sorry, it's been a while since I did.
Yeah,
I did this.
I should probably give you rolls. Oops. D20. What? Oh. I hurt myself on that one. It's good that you can spell Puyallup from memory. I even like it better when people can say
Pronounce it.
Yeah, pronounce it right. A little bit more difficult. All right, 1 hit and 3 hits. So 1 hit will definitely tell you where it's at. 3 hits tells you that it is in fact a sort of a dirty bar out in the middle of nowhere. You know that it is in ganger territory, but for the most part they I want to say it's the Blood Mountain Boys is what you know of being operating out of that area. That said, they allow business to happen there. They don't seem to really care too much. So you think it's going to be okay. 3 hits on him. You see a couple images of him in the area. Not necessarily in Puyallup, but more towards Seattle downtown. Seems to be at a number of corporate parties, although there's a variety of corporations, so you're not really sure which one it is, or if he just acts as a facilitator between them.
Okay, so he's corp connected.
Yes. Any other anything else that you would want to look for, or the other question is how do you want to get there?
I don't have anything specific that my character needs to do beforehand, so I'm just gonna go and get up dressed fancy for the meet and head on out into the Americar. Start working my way up.
Okay.
I'll get as close as I can with transit and then walk the rest of the way.
Okay.
Whipper will take a taxi as close as the taxi will get to the bar. I mean, if it's close enough to the civilized part of Puyallup, he'll stop about a block out. But chances are, he's from the sound of it, he's going to have to walk a few blocks.
Yeah, it's a little bit off the beaten path, but it's probably no more than about 3/4 of a kilometer from the nearest bus stop.
Locker will drive his bulldog.
Yeah, it's just a few blocks away from the transit stop, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I start hoofing it. Glare at anyone directly that looks at me if I happen to pass anyone. If you act crazier than they are, they leave you alone.
Ain't that the truth? So yeah, you all slowly start making your way out for a 9 p.m. meetup at the bar. As you get closer to the area, yeah, you definitely see this is in the rundown portion of town. You had asked to do an ASense of the area, Curry?
Yeah. I'll do an astral perception first, and if anything looks off, I might find a place to go full astral, but I doubt it. Usually I don't have to.
Okay. Yeah, give me a scan over.
I'm stealing your formula for roll 20.
Yeah, no worries.
So that's 3.
With 3 hits, you can see that this is there's sort of an underlying feel of desperation as you can see images as people move about their daily life. There's sort of this like bluish aspect to their aura. They're hunched over as you see people moving about. The area has sort of a bit of a tremor of magic. You can sort of sense Mount Rainier off in the distance, sort of leaving this aura over the area. You are able to see that there is sort of an underlying threat of violence, but nothing that's overt.
And we lost our sound.
Sarah, are you okay?
I'm on push to talk. Guys, I'm streaming. I'm so good at this. Wow, I'm out of practice. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of keep that that movement of that direct power walk while posturing until I get to the meet site.
Okay. Yeah, when you arrive, you can see lined up outside the outside of the motors or outside of the bar, you've got a line of motorcycles of various condition, and by various I mean nothing even close to nice. There's definitely sort of red and black paint is the general motif that you're seeing. As you get closer to the bar, tons of there's smoke sort of leaking out under the door, and as you push the door open, like there's a ton of sound just sort of rolls out and hits you. It's almost like you can smell the sound, but that's really just stale beer and stale cigarettes. And so you're able to sort of move your way into the bar. You spot Fox over along the way. You can see that he has seated himself at the end of the bar. When you arrive, he stands up and puts some money down on the bar and motions for you to follow him towards the back. Within the bar, you can see a number of like people with motorcycle cuts that are playing pool or doing various normal, like somebody's playing darts. A number of people are watching the trid, but they're all in different gang cuts. And by different, I mean they're all the same one. They're just you'll see somebody with a full leather jacket, some people with just the vests. And as he moves you towards the back room, you see there's a big heavy steel door hung in the back, and then
Is it stainless steel?
it's stained, very stained steel.
Stained steel. All right, Hal, we need you to change your username to Stained Steel Devil.
So we're seeing more folks that we know. Cool. Yeah, so we're able to. He ends up opening the door for you as you slowly work your way into the room. You find a room that's older furniture. He seats himself at the head of the table. Says, on the way out, glad to buy you a beer, but first I wanted to get down to business, provide you with the information you need so you can decide what to do from there.
All right. Are we waiting for the others?
I'm sure they'll show soon. I've left instructions at the bar. And so as each of you arrives at different times, the bartender does guide you towards the stained steel door leading to the conference room.
Okay.
I find a position so I can have my eyes on the door. And is there seating in here? Or is it?
Yeah, there's plenty of seats. They're older bar stools. Looks like they grabbed them from up front.
I'll just perch on one facing the door back to the wall.
Okay. Eventually, you all sort of roll in. He sits back down. as he greets each person at the door. Thank you for greeting me. I'm very interested in acquiring a good for someone. That particular item is fairly large, and so I need specialists. The goods aren't exactly... They're owned by some bad people, let's say. And I'm willing to pay your crew 40,000 new yen. You can spread it how you wish to acquire these goods and move them.
Is it still just me in the room right now?
At this point, you'd end up having everybody.
Yeah.
Good, because I don't like when people talk about the money around me. I shouldn't be talking to people.
Well, I think at this point we do, for the simple fact that everybody was able to gather here, we are at least somewhat interested. Before we can get into further details as to the nitty gritty about pay, you do say it's a large package that we are picking up. Do you have an idea as to how large exactly?
It's definitely a few ton. It's about 3 to 4 meters long, probably 2 meters wide, 3/4 meter tall. I will be also supplying a vehicle capable of moving it. If you have a rigger.
That would be me.
Fantastic! I knew I could trust my network.
Okay.
So
if you got it, I can drive it.
Yes, it's a fairly large package.
Okay, so we have a several ton package that seems to be about the size of a shipping container. You are supplying a vehicle, which is all very well and good. You said that it is currently in the possession of some people of questionable moral character. Do you happen to have an idea as to what particular affiliations or numbers that we might be dealing with?
I haven't checked out where it's being stored. I do know that they're organized, fairly well organized, and have particular sway down in this particular area.
And what's the turnaround time? When do you need this by?
I need the package delivered to the port of Tacoma within the next 4 days.
Okay.
I kind of look pointedly at the guy that seems to be asking most of these questions.
Okay. So from what I'm understanding based off of the picture that you have painted for us, we have an organized force which we are running against of indeterminate numbers in a location of indeterminate defenses where we are lifting an object of several tons and is just generally unwieldy based off of physical size, not just physical weight. And we have a very short turnaround time to be able to prepare and execute this plan. I don't think that 40,000 is necessarily going to cut it.
You bring up quite valid points. This is a bit of a challenge, but I believe that you're a capable crew, and you can be fairly convincing, shall we say.
Oh,
Whipper rather noisily opens up and pulls out a cigarette and lights it and says, "Yeah, we are a capable crew, which means that we should probably be paid appropriately."
Feel free to OOC. Feel free to make a negotiations roll. With you can get some aid from. It sounds like Whipper's providing some aid here.
Yes.
Yeah, Looker right now is just looking
that's it.
nervous.
Okay, so it looks like I have 3 hits on an assist. Is anybody else going to be assisting?
My lips are sealed right now.
Let's see.
I'm just sitting there looking nervous, like you guys are gonna blow this for me.
I have antipathy, so I will be a detriment to you.
But those are the best ones for me.
I have a
Okay.
broke drug addict character, so he's nervous.
I took the right character to play today. I will take the 3 hits and add it to my my social. So I'm going to be rolling right with 9 successes.
Woo! Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
He sits there. He sort of leans back a little bit, and sort of thoughtfully looks to each of you, lingering a little bit on Locker, and then moving on. No, you bring up very valid points. I will easily see this brought up to 52,000 new yen. That should.
I think we can do it for 52,000 new yen, yes.
So what I am looking for, there is a particular automobile. Specifically, this is a 1962 Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Okay, Chevrolet
Chevy. Was short.
Corvette. It is currently located in a warehouse in the Puyallup Barrens, which is owned by the Finnegan family. I need you to get that car and get it to the Port of Tacoma. You will find the vehicle that I have procured for you to utilize. That is currently in a parking garage in Auburn.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, if it would prove to be necessary, is the 1962 Chevrolet Corvette, is it in drivable or otherwise serviceable?
It does currently operate, but it doesn't use grid guide, which is bizarre.
Yeah, the old Chevys didn't.
Imagine not.
So I believe it's drivable. I've heard paraplegics can't drive back then. Weird.
It was a strange time.
Any
So,
questions for me?
If you can provide the address to the warehouse, that would be very, very handy.
Absolutely. He does provide you with an address to which I might actually have one. Uno momento, por favor. Not that I've spent a lot of time looking at Puyallup. He says that the address is on the corner of Patterson Road East and Pioneer Way East. Nestled up in the foothills of the Cascade.
Now,
Patterson.
Was that the address for the warehouse where the package is currently being stored, or is that the address for the vehicle we are being provided by the Johnson?
That is the location of where the vehicle's being stored.
I see.
So Patterson and Pioneer.
Yep, Now, if you're looking for the one, so where your vehicle is that you'll be using, he said it's located where the Derringer Sleep Company is. It's located behind that building, which is on East Valley Highway. Any other follow-ups?
Are we done here?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
If you wish, drinks are on me.
Straightforward to me.
Okay.
Let's go pick up a classic car.
Drinks are on me as long as you don't drive the vehicle while under the influence. Otherwise, I will leave you to it. You can contact me at my number if needed. Otherwise, you will be paid when the vehicle has been delivered to the Port of Tacoma.
The car is due in 4 days. If we drink enough here, guys, to still be under the influence 4 days from now.
He might be.
Can we have that money up front?
My liver.
Personally, I do not intend on taking a to-go bag with my liquor. Would a Seattle gangs or a shadow community be appropriate for finding out information about the Finnegan?
Yeah, both those would be perfect. They'll be at a normal dice pool.
That's actually pretty good for 9 dice.
Oh yeah, that is really good. So you know that the Finnegan family is the current dominant of the mafia families in Seattle. They run roughshod over pretty much everybody. They've added a focus in the last couple of years away from the more traditional sort of being afraid of things to moving towards a more modern view where they focus on gambling, drugs, prostitution, loan sharking, BTLs, and have really been pushing towards the bringing of matrix and magical support into the family. But yeah, their primary operations have been down in Puyallup for the most part. But yeah, there's one of three. They're one of the three main mafia families, and they're the ones that are the capo.
I see. Well, I relay some of this information to the rest of the group that it seems like they have been stocking up recently on magical and matrix support. So just keep your eyes out if you intend on doing any form of magical or computer-based scout.
Is it a potential possibility that the technical one and I could apply for work with them and potentially get on the inside so that it triggers less alarms?
I have a skill in criminal security procedures to see if we get caught or see if that makes sense.
I say we just go in there in the middle of the night. I carve a hole in the warehouse. The rigger drives the car onto the back of the flatbed, and we drive away.
Who is the pink mohawk one in our group? You guessed, fans.
It's not me today.
All right, so Locker, you, based on your knowledge of security, you believe that there's a chance that they would accept you in on a probationary period, and that really you would have to earn your way. They may not stick you on something that contains high value. You would end up probably at the docks or someplace else. But you could reduce potentially the raising of eyebrows if you if one of you were in, maybe, not necessarily both of you. However, you would have to be fairly good socially to pull off the lies that would be necessary.
I'm good at lying. I'm just not good at people liking me. But what I do is valuable, so that doesn't matter.
No, the social stuff isn't for me.
All right. Well, so you've almost got kind of an answer on that one, right? Like,
yeah.
So Curie could possibly go undercover if she so chose.
Let's jander on down to this place and take a look-see at it. It might be some other ideas we can apply.
That might be one of the most prudent options. I mean, we have 4 days. There's no harm in just going to go and take a look-see on the first or the second day.
Well, let's go check out the truck. No sense in, we might as well have it with us in case opportunity strikes.
The mafia looks out the window. Why is there a tow truck just parked on our street waiting?
I just need to go there and get access to it. I can always call it from remote.
That's fair.
So it sounds like one person is at least going to go get the old car or the car carrier, and then the other three are going to go check out the mafia facility.
Sure. Let's case the joint.
That works for me.
All right. And so, Whipper, you have a vehicle, right?
No.
Okay. So the three people who don't have vehicles.
I think there's 2 and 2. So we have the
Taxi.
rigger that's going to go and get the tow truck, and I actually have a car.
Oh.
So I can imagine a situation where we all pile out of the bar, and I'm just like by my AmeriCar, and I'm like, so am I following you? Are you following me? Or what's going on?
Without saying a word, I just open the back seat and jump inside.
And Whipper will follow suit. And he's still smoking his cigarette.
Nice.
So
Okay, so
I guess
You're
they're
like,
following
I'm
you.
working with assholes today.
I get in the driver's seat and I let the car drive itself, because who puts points into pilot ground? And
Losers, clearly.
I guess I turned to you and was like, well, make yourselves at home, I guess. As we drive off to go and examine the comp or warehouse or what have you.
All right. So you make your way out towards this warehouse in the Barrens. You can tell that the roads themselves get progressively worse. It's almost like a constant ash fall from a near as you get closer and closer, where you can't really see where the road edge ends and where there's dirt or what's left of the grass off the side of the road. There are like various rundown apartments as you move your way through what used to be former farmland, but nothing can grow there anymore. As you head up towards the foothills. Off in the distance, you can see a fairly good-sized building as you get near the address that you were given. The building looks like it's steel and concrete sort of warehouse. Nothing super fancy, other than you can see like there's some obvious cameras that they've placed at least in the corners of the building. So.
Okay.
Now, when you say steel, do you mean like corrugated steel?
Yes.
That thin? Oh, good. I can totally cut through that stuff.
You see a couple as you get closer. Actually, give me perception checks, and then I will get to Locker's character in a bit.
I just have a feeling that, like, 3 of us are casing the area, and Whipper's already on the mission. The run has already begun.
That's usually the way it works. The faster I get done, the faster I have my money.
Why do you think I wanted to make sure that I could get the car carrier there?
Well, in this case, it's not going to happen because Whipper does not have any driving skills. So he's not going to hop into this Chevy and just drive off with it.
Yeah, plus,
not even if they give it to him.
You may have to hotwire it.
You may have to hope it has gas.
But that too.
Does Pilot Program have hot wiring capabilities?
All right, Whipper, you had we'll start with 2 and work our way up. So Patho, you're able to see the cameras on the side. You can see that the where the road splits, it appears that the main entrance is on the canyon road that goes up into the hills versus the one that sort of goes along the base of the mountain.
Okay.
And that appears to, and then the front of the building, which is along the main road, that doesn't, it has a people door. And it looks like there's almost 2 stories in the place. Like there's a set of windows along the top, and none along the bottom. Do you continue along the main road, or do you head up into the foothills?
I'll continue along the main road for now.
Okay. Sarah, you notice a little bit more. You can see some movement from the windows up above. It looks like people looking out. You get the vague shape of metahumans. They look like they're fairly big, but it's really tough to tell. And then, Whipper, you're able to see definitely movement from those windows. You can spot that there's cameras over the door, as well as the ones in the corner. You can also spot some emplacements that look like they're up on the hill edge that look like they might be some sort of hidden turret. And then the shapes from the windows appear to be orc shaped, just based on the shoulder square, and you did see an occasional silhouette of tusk.
Okay.
The windows aren't reflective, so it's not like you're being blocked that way, but they are grimy.
Okay, grimy windows.
Fun stuff.
And you say the turrets are on the building or on the hill overlooking the building?
It's on the hill overlooking the building. It appears like it's still on the building's property.
Okay.
But it's always tough with property maps.
Is there anything in the surrounding area, like other buildings or trees or anything, to kind of keep a distance but get a look from outside without being like really obviously walking around fields?
When you did a quick sort of look at that, it does not appear that way. Look, there's a couple older houses that are sort of run down. Looks like old farmhouses. But for the most part, that's it.
Okay. If I think I can get away with it, I'll do like a partial look around in full astral. When there's a sec.
Well, you're in the back of the car, so.
Yeah, I'm like, this is boring. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm just gone. And then 30 seconds later, I'm back. I'm like, done. Refreshed.
Sometimes you're just that tired, and it just is so refreshing. Yeah, give me some astral looking around. So yeah, you can definitely sense some weird flavor here. Like you're definitely closer to Rainier, so you would know that the astral here is a little bit more sort of thick, and so you'll have a background noise of 3. Yeah, the RNGesus is really nice to us today. there is like this sort of rolling hint of violence coming off of that building. And given how remote you are, like if you had to interrogate someone, ask some gentle questions of somebody, this might be where you would try to hole up. You do spot a number of spirits as well, astrally, but you haven't really taken a close look, but you do see them moving about.
As I have time, I'll try to get a count and what types and power levels and stuff. So I'll wait.
Okay, yes. So you can. Well, the longer you wait, the more chance of the car making a turn and then it being harder to find your body.
Fair. But I do want to get a good look around, so.
Yeah, the spirits themselves that you find a couple of beast spirits, and you do find a couple fire spirits.
You said, what's the first one you said?
Beast.
Gotcha. I heard like V spirits. I'm like, what are those?
V for Vendetta.
Vegan spirits.
Oh, vegan spirits.
Oh God, run!
Don't worry, they just keep telling you that they're vegan.
Yeah, but their farts are nasty.
It's all the broccoli. Yeah, so that you do find that you saw 6 total spirits, but they moved in and out through that time period.
6 total, several beast, and you said a couple. How many?
2 beast and 2 fire. 2 beast and 2 fire, but the other 2 had already moved on by the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about power level?
They were higher than your magic.
Eep. Okay.
For the
I'm
most.
gonna go back to the car now. Before my face gets eaten.
They didn't seem to be outwardly aggressive. You did see one Watcher Spirit as well that was located, sort of sitting perched on top of the warehouse.
I'll, as I wake up from my nap, I'll start pointing out like where I saw some things in the astral, including the Watcher Spirit, and kind of give them the update on what we might be up against.
All right, we're gonna flip over to Locker. So Locker, you're heading towards the location that you were given, which is behind a pretty shady no-tell motel, sort of, but it is located on the main strip.
Okay.
When you arrive, you can see there's a couple guys that are checking out your ride, not the one you're in, but the one you're supposed to pick up. Like they're looking in the window, they're moving around behind, checking the tires.
Oh, this is going to be good. The wimpiest character on the thing gets to deal with the street toughs. All right. Actually, first step, do a quick matrix perception.
Sure.
See if I can pick up the truck on the matrix.
Yeah, you're able to see the truck on the matrix. You can see that you have 3 marks on it.
Okay, cool. So I can literally just slave it to my console and start it up.
Yeah.
I would just simply start up the truck.
You see one of them sort of jump back, and the other one like leap on and grab the handle to the driver's seat or the driver's side.
As in trying to open the door?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we just start moving. Make sure I lock all the doors, which I assume they were already locked. So
yeah, they're already locked.
Make sure they're locked, and we just start driving.
Are you rigging into it, or are you just sending it commands?
At this point, I would jump into it.
All right. So give me a pilot groundcraft as you give this guy an unfortunate ride down the road from the outside.
Let's see.
It's always a trap. All right, so yeah, you're definitely kicking butt on this one. You can see him start to hang on, and you're picking up speed, and you get it close to the building, and it's sort of just trying to rub him off. And you clip him hard. You can, from your car, from the inside, like you can hear the sound picked up from the microphone of a
smack.
Yeah, and he just sort of lands on the ground and just lays there for a second, and he sort of sits up really groggily, which you're able to pick up from your cameras.
Yep. Well, I stop for a second, and I start to slowly back up towards him.
You see him look at this fairly large car carrier, and it's just like, no. And you see him like trying to run, but you can tell he definitely got clipped pretty good. He's got a definite weave to him as he goes off the edge.
Okay, I take it this car carrier is how many cars can it hold?
It's a single flatbed.
Okay, it's just a single flatbed. It's got a winch. We'll pull the Corvette up onto the flatbed, just like, probably not that much different than they are now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Most of the time, they don't carry mages that will do levitate on the car. At least with enough force to actually make it work.
That's true. Okay, then at that point, I would just give my van a command to follow me.
Okay.
And give the van that I'm sitting in a command to follow the car carrier that I've jumped into.
All right. One thing to note is noise is 3 where you're at, and progressively could get worse as you get closer to the location of the warehouse. So yeah, you start heading out that way.
As I get closer to where they are, I start looking for a place where I can park this. That's nearby. That's near their location.
So they're currently driving. Where are you guys headed?
I'll find a parking lot maybe about 5 or 6 blocks away.
All right. Let me take a look at my map. There's a parking lot, but it's near an old junkyard. It looks like it's the name of the place is it's advertised as Black Junkyards.
Okay, we'll stop there. No problem.
Okay. See if I can switch my screen so it doesn't look so weird. You have to see my messy background, but at least then it won't look green screen. So yeah, you can let's see, you guys would probably be there around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
The junkyard itself doesn't really have a lot of activity around it, but there is sort of a small parking lot out front. You can hear some dogs barking in the background.
Okay, sounds good.
And so you send the information to Locker about where you're currently hiding out?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right. Anything else? If nothing else, Locker, you get a message where they're at. You're able to work your way over there.
Okay.
The location where you're at currently, definitely not the best neighborhoods, but shoot, it's Puyallup. None of it's really that great. So what's the plan? You all meet up. There's 3 vehicles now that are fairly... Well, 2 of them are large and one's a car. What's the plan?
Well, I didn't see too terribly much when we went and drove past. So I just saw
Yeah.
the cameras and whatnot in the front gate.
I got an eyeful. It's a 2-story building. I think they got orcs upstairs. Some kind of heavies. It looks like they got some kind of auto turrets on Overwatch on the hill on one side of the warehouse.
They've got Watcher spirits on top of the building. They have up to 6, maybe more spirits. 2 of fire, 2 of beasts, all more powerful than I am. So they're pretty robust magically.
Do you think the mage is on site or working remotely?
Based off of what I understand about the Finnegans is probably that he's actually on site. I mean, normally the security thing is if they have one remote, but I mean, they're definitely amping up on magical and matrix security. So it wouldn't surprise me if they actually have one physically.
Well, and it could be with the power level involved with each of these spirits. They could be bound and they could be several mages. So
even worse.
Well,
so I feel rather useless unless I can get on the inside. Because me facing off with this is just not going to happen.
Yeah, that many spirits. I wish there was a way to find out if they're for certain mages on site. I suspect the warehouse is just a warehouse underneath, and the office are up top. If we can get them up to the offices, we could probably take out the guards, and then the warehouse is ours. We can take whatever we want.
Well, they haven't seen my van yet, so I can drive by, and I can scope out what their matrix is.
That would be handy.
Maybe they got a tissue host, and that could tell us all we need.
Do you hack?
Yes, I can get into systems.
In that case, I would suggest taking your regular vehicle and not the flatbed.
Oh yeah, no. That's trust me, the seats are much more comfortable in here.
Other than this, based off of the amount of magical security that we've already seen and the unknown numbers that are inside, physical firefights probably not the wisest option. We might need some plausible reason to actually be on site.
What about a mechanic? Again, I'm not much use, I think, magically at this point. So I think in the morning, because it's late right now, right?
Yeah, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at this point. Or sorry, I said 10:30.
I think in the morning, I'm going to reach out and say, I'm new to Seattle. Heard there might be work for someone like me, and then I can feed you stuff from the inside.
All right, well, I can. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd start going now. Actually, my locker his van would start up and he'd start driving. The Bulldog.
Are you leaving? Where are you going to put the flatbed?
right next to wherever they are.
At the junkyard.
Yep. It blends in. It's a tow truck outside a junkyard.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, when the junkyard owner shows up and goes, "That's not my flatbed," then it gets to be a little different.
But it's 10 o'clock at night. The only thing home right now are the junkyard dogs.
And they don't care about it
Yeah.
unless they want to mark it. Then
Then they care about it.
they care about it. But so I would go ahead and go full astral and slump down.
Astral Decker.
Yep.
All right. So you're gonna drive over there and
If you say that, I'm offended.
Deckers don't go astral. Like,
I mean, they can if they also happen to have a magic rating.
that's true. As long as they don't have resonance too.
I've never gotten that one to really work. I've tried a couple times.
I've seen a couple magical Deckers. They're fun. All right. So you're gonna go hot sim while you drive over there.
Yep.
You can do matrix search while you're driving. You can perceive in detail while you're also controlling your vehicle. If you want to stop and do something more in depth, then you'll want to stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as long as I get over there without any issues.
Yeah, you have no sort of problems. The roads themselves, you see a couple passerbys usually on motorcycle. They look like they're a bit of toughs, but when they see it's a bulldog, they kind of you can see them looking with interest and then suddenly not looking with interest, or attempting to appear disinterested, because they know bulldogs out here tend to come with heavy armaments, so they're like, that's good.
Okay. Well, as I get close, then. Matrix perception.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the fact that there's a couple hidden turrets. You see a number of camera feeds on the outside. You see 3 comm links on the inside. All 3 are in the office area. You also see a number of other, random devices like toasters, refrigerators, that type of stuff from the inside of the building. You also see another couple gun icons located. It looks like they're internal turrets.
So these aren't slave to a host then.
And they are all slave to a host.
Okay, they're all slave to a host. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what is with that search? What's the host rating?
The host rating would show up as a 7.
Okay. I would get, let's see, checking my cheat sheet here for Matrix stuff.
Are you attempting to get a mark?
No,
Oh.
I'm just looking for the number of questions I can ask you about the host. What I see that it's got slave devices on it.
You do.
And I wouldn't see any IC yet until I actually tried something a little.
Correct.
Yep. Deeper. Devices. Were the doors slave to it?
There are the overhead door. You can see there's 2 big overhead doors that are slaved to it, as well as a maglock on the front door.
Okay.
I mean, also there's fire suppression units. There's
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I try and take a note of who maintains. Is there any signs on the doors saying it's maintained by anybody or anything like that? It's probably not as popular then as it was. Probably not as popular in the future as it is now, but
Roll me your electronic warfare as you're looking through cameras to try to see if there's a sign on the door. Specifically, the cameras on your vehicle, so
yep.
That will be a limit.
I think I boosted that sensors because this character planned on being
never out of his vehicle.
Pretty much yes. Pretty much yes.
Death before dismount.
Yep. So the okay, I'm limited to 4 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to see a sign on the front door. The sign is all rusted out. It is. It looks like it was there from before the magical awakening. So you're pretty sure that whoever is maintaining security is not the allied security services that's listed on the sign. And you also don't see anything in AR in terms of who's their security.
Okay.
You have a security background, right?
Yes.
So yes, you think that their security is most likely homegrown Finnegan family?
I figured that, but I was just looking for an in. Now this character is graduated college, graduated it with chemical help, and everything just kind of went south from there. And now he's in his first Shadowrun.
Oh God, we recruited a baby.
Yep. Just smart enough to know not to tell you that he's a baby. All right. After I've seen all of that, I would make my way out so I don't pass by there. I'm not going to sit there passing by more than once.
Just keep going around the block.
Yeah, just keep going around the block, you know. And then I would head back.
All right. So, you arrive back where the rest of the crew is hanging out. I think it's probably a good time because we didn't have characters introduce themselves. This would be a good time to say, like, all right, we've been in the run a little bit. The new characters have had a chance to sort of get a feel for who they are. Tell me a little bit about yourself. We'll start with the 2 existing ones. So we'll start with Curie.
So Curie has been running for a good amount of time now. She's new to Seattle. She's used to Chicago, and Britain before that. But she's pretty cold. She's an ice mage. She's cold in personality as well. She wears a lab coat that reflects her, shows what magic is affecting her as well, because all magic is just science we don't understand.
Awesome. How about you, Whipper?
Whipper is a rangy-looking dude with a bright pink mohawk, commonly wears a greatcoat. He is a physical adept, and he has killed a dragon once.
All right.
Well, you offset our newbie then.
All right, Patho.
Patho is this is the first run for Patho. I had built her over the past week. Patho is a dryad who is very adept at being able to persuade people that they are wrong in everything that they believe and that I am right in every way. She is very adept at social maneuvering and deception.
Well, then you just walk on in there and tell us what's up.
I might very well do that.
All right, Locker.
Locker is a rigger decker. He was a college student at a nearby university. Again, I just said he started getting assistance with chemical assistance in his last year of college, and that's when he discovered he is a lightweight as far as addiction rolls go. All these nice rolls that I've been having all day are offset by the fact that he is addicted to basically any kind of drug. He needs to have drugs in his systems at all times to really operate correctly.
So are you at burnout?
Not at burnout yet. No, not at burnout yet. He's on that path. He's clearly on that path, but he's smart enough to know that he's not actually on that path. He can control it.
Yeah, sure. Like all addicts.
I have full control. I can handle this. But he's currently out of money. He was on the corporate track, and fell off of it, and has fallen into this. And he's a newbie Shadowrunner in all the wrong ways.
All the right ways. Thank you very much. That sounds kind of awesome to me.
I had so much more confidence in this run until we did intros.
Totally fine.
That two people just haven't done anything before in the shadows, and one of them is like barely a functioning adult.
Yep.
But luckily,
So
the
I
one
know
will
who-
convince you that he's totally like down with this. I'm good.
I just know who I'm standing behind in the fight now. Whipper, I'm standing behind you.
Yeah, it really wouldn't be me because there's nothing there to stand behind.
We don't have Atlas's shield this week.
Yes.
All right. So we are. You guys are at the junkyard. You've gotten a quick scope of the place, both visually, astrally, and matrix. You've got a flatbed, and you are currently trying to figure out how you're going to get a car out of a warehouse that's guarded by turrets
And spirits.
Yeah, it seemed like the spirits that you saw, some of them were passing by. It didn't seem like all of them were there to guard.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm still under the impression that I'm gonna go in the morning and talk about how special I am. So give me a job.
Okay. It's also relatively late at night. Considering that Curie and Whipper are right now in the back of my car, do either of you guys also need a place to sleep?
If you're offering, yes.
She says, drooling on the window.
Well, yes, if you're still astral, then I wouldn't expect an answer.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm more confident staying with you since there's actually another lady for a change in the group.
Oh, you don't know that yet. I was passing myself off as a man in the meat. So right now I am dressed in men's clothing. My face is I have false face, so I can actually disguise myself to reconfigure it in any way, and I have voice modulators so that I can change pitch and tone and volume of my. I am passing myself off as a man. Tomorrow, when you wake up, will be a completely different person.
Then I will not be staying with you.
All right, then, fair enough.
Somebody else shows up the next day with his car. All right, so you guys each sort of head your separate ways back to places to stay, or perhaps you crash at another location. When do you guys want to get together and sort of resync before the plans?
We can meet up for breakfast at 2 in the afternoon.
2 in the afternoon.
Who goes to sleep before 5 a.m.?
Okay.
The clubs are just getting hopping at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I shake my head and go, children.
So it sounds like we have a 2 p.m. offer.
I will be messaging the family, the Finnegan contact. I have to do some legwork for it in the morning, but I will be contacting them first thing in the morning. So
yeah, sounds good. So why don't you? Who are you going to contact to see if you can get a name? Like who on your contact list, or do you have other plans?
I have a Decker that I might have like just look up, like do a big search for me in terms of like, all right, so they're looking to recruit these contacts. Can you find anything on what's been the method of contact for that, and can you get me into it?
All right. So what's your fixer's connection?
My fixer's connection is a 4.
Okay. And you were calling the fixer, right?
I was gonna call a Decker.
Oh, the Decker.
First.
Oh, what's the Decker's connection?
3.
Okay. You're able to get a hold of the Decker.
Okay. I need you to do a search. The Finnegan family in Seattle is recruiting mages. How are they finding them?
Your Decker friend. Does your Decker friend have a name?
Yes, it's 3D, which is the Dashing Duke of Dataheim.
Sounds like a perfect runner by themselves. We need the Dashing Duke of Dataheim.
Dashing Duke of Dataheim.
So the Dashing Duke of Dataheim tells you,
He's also a troll.
I don't know. I mean, I could spend some time looking, but I may not find anything.
Let me know if you do.
All right.
I need to know by morning.
Oh.
Aaron, I want you to cosplay as my troll. And follow me around talking like that.
I assume I can do that. That's fine. So, I am a Matrix troll, yes. Thank you, Stainless Steel.
Internet trolls are the worst.
I know. That's why I was when Pathos is like, well, I just tell people when they're wrong. I was like, oh, you correct people on the internet.
And in real life, and if I could do it on the astral, but I'm not that kind of smart.
So yeah, he can attempt to do a longer term search. He probably won't turn up anything. Let me do a quick check. It's getting a little bit better. You get a message in your inbox in the morning asking you to call him back.
I do, and I just thanks. I'm so good at this.
I read your lips though, so.
I launch straight into what do you have?
Sorry, I ran my knee into the door. So he's like, that took me a lot longer than I was intending. So if you could float a couple new yen my way.
I already, as soon as he says that first part of the sentence, I just ping him. I'll give him 500 new yen. He does good shit for me.
Okay. I appreciate that. So it looks like there's a wizard gang that they've been using to recruit the Merlins. Some guy, I mean, I don't know who's running the gang. I couldn't find that out, but it seems like that's what they're using.
Thanks. And I'll hang up and then immediately try to call my fixer and see if they've got a contact for the gang.
And you said your fixture was rating 4?
Yep.
He doesn't answer the comm call. You get a message like, "Hey, currently on a comm call right now. I get back to you."
All right. I'm impatient, but
Just a good fixer working his deals.
I ping him 200 new yen and say, call me sooner.
It takes about 15 minutes. He calls you. What is your fixer's name?
Roy.
Roy. Tell me a little bit about Roy so I can not do a country western back voice.
Roy is a talker. He's got a little bit of that slimy charm, like used car salesman, where you're like, all right, like I don't want to be alone in a room with you.
All right, perfect. I can figure something out. Hey, just getting back to you. Thanks for the little bit of a donation for my my children's foundation. What can I do for you?
I need a contact for what was the Merlins.
Ah, the Merlins. Oh yeah, I know all about them.
Gang. Sounds like it.
Well, let's find out.
So I need a contact so that I can reach out.
He does, in fact, know all about him. Is he a Chicago connection?
Yeah.
He's like, well, you're specifically looking for the Merlins out of Seattle, right? Because that's where you're at right now.
Yep.
When you coming back to Chicago? I miss hanging out.
Please answer my question.
Jeez. It's a guy named Saturn. He's a little bit of a weird case, but here's his comm number. I did not give it to you.
Understood.
This is between close friends.
Thanks. Hang up. I ping him another 200 new yen to let him know we're good.
Luckily, he loves money more than he loves flustered runners.
Yeah. I don't do social.
So yeah, no, you've got a name and a number.
All right, I'm gonna call it. If you want to jump to someone else for a bit, I know I'm hogging the web spotlight right now.
It's okay. It's in the morning. I'm probably still listening.
That was what I was gonna say. Like on the timeline, I think you're the only one up at this point. Whipper probably won't be much longer after, but then you've got an addict and a partier.
Truth.
Whipper, when do you get up?
Whipper gets up promptly at like 10 a.m. Slightly hungover, grabs himself a cigarette, oozes, however you want to describe it, out of his motel coffin, and goes down to Stuffer Shack and gets a burrito and a soy cap. And just contemplates how exactly this crew is going to get this done. I mean, he's of the opinion to just smash and grab, but he doesn't think the magician's idea is all that good, but it's probably going to amount to a smash and grab in the end when it fails. So it's all good.
I appreciate the honesty.
He doesn't actually tell her that. It's just his inner monologue while he's smoking and drinking his soy calf and eating his soy burrito.
All right. So you're just sort of pontificating at a back at the coffin, or
inner monologue.
There's this the deep thought as the cigarette comes out. Well, we could cut a hole in the wall, or we can cut a hole in that wall. Well, there's 4 walls. Or we could
just cut a hole in the wall and rescue the mage when she goes in, and they get all pissed off. But at least she'll probably find out if there's a mage on site the hard way. But
all right.
See, the only difference there is I can make my own hole in the wall to get out. Oh, this isn't working. Bye.
So when you call, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't need to make a hole in the wall. They already made it. It's called a door.
I know
What
they have
is
these neat
door?
things. They have these neat things called mag locks. You just do something and they open up. It's kind of a nice concept.
Do something is adding an extra step.
So let's all meet for breakfast and we'll discuss our options then.
All right. So your call to Saturn, Curie. Saturn answers. How did you get my number?
We have a mutual friend. I'm new to town, former runner, from Chicago, and I heard that you were the person to go to if people like us were looking for work.
You don't sound like you're from Chicago.
Very astute.
People like us. Can you be a little more specific?
I cringe at the thought of saying mage, because it's science. So I'm gonna say finger wigglers.
Yeah. I'm always looking for new talent. So, what are you doing around 2? We can meet up.
Fair enough. I should be free. Where shall we meet?
I got this really nice bar. It's located down in Tacoma. I'll send you the address. It'll totally be fine.
Everything you say sounds shady today, Aaron.
I know. I've been up a long time.
He's a GM. It's his job.
He's a gang leader. I don't know. Was the troll that shady?
Well, you said something like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that," and it's like it did not sound like you had heard of that. And then you rolled, and you're like, "Oh, I have heard of that."
No, that was your fixer. Your fixer. I was like, no, he totally had, no. Actually, I rolled really well. Yes, your fixer has actually heard of that guy.
Send me the address, and I will see you at 2.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you there.
I love how he didn't get my name. That's fine. I'll find him.
Yeah, that's fine. He got your caller ID, which happened to be whatever the fake SIN you were using. Using a fake SIN, right?
Always.
Okay.
So
it's always good to double check.
He knows my social security number, my
your DNA,
everything.
which is a rabbit. No,
Yeah.
All that stuff isn't transferred. It's really just the name attached to the number, unless you've deliberately blanked it out to unknown. Unless your name is unknown, which would also be very cool.
First name unknown, last name person.
All right, so you are going to meet with the mages at 2 p.m. Everyone else is going to meet up for breakfast or second breakfast for Whipper?
Second breakfast, yes.
11Z's at 2.
Whipper is now a hobbit.
A little tall for that. So, if we could get away with pink foot hair.
Oh, that's a little bit disturbing. All right, so you guys arrive at the quaint little breakfast place. It's probably a Denny's. I imagine that Denny's actually survives in the Shadowrun universe.
It's like cockroaches. It'll never die.
I'm sure it's a subsidiary of something.
It's either that or Waffle House.
IHOP.
IHOP.
We'll go with Denny's because that to me screams where you go for breakfast at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So we're there. Curie is not there. Whipper starts up. I'm not sure this plan the mage has is going to, but I think it might work in an offhand way. I mean, if we can take out the mage, I think everything else will be okay. And the trick is identifying the mage, and she's probably going to identify the mage one way or another, I'm thinking. And then we'll have to go and rescue her. Unless she can kill them all herself, in which case that's pretty wonderful too.
Sounds like an easy payday to me. The thing is, it's, while it might be a bad plan, it is presently the best bad plan that we have.
Yeah. Now, what would help is if we had an excuse to be really close by and possibly inside ourselves. I was thinking, maybe, if the plumbing were to break down, we could come fix the plumbing.
Or if we got an order from the boss that the car is being moved to a different location.
Well, that would be good. The trick is they're going to call to make sure that's true, unless we can spoof that call somehow.
That host is pretty tough. I mean, if it's one of those things where if I get in, it'll be fantastic. We'll be great. But if I don't get in, it'll get loud quick. And it's right at the thing where it's equal of me. The host is equal of me.
I think it is going to get loud, unless we have a way to get in the. That's why I'm thinking the plumbing would be great. If we knew the schematics of the place and we could block the plumbing somehow and maybe reverse it, and then we just conveniently show up, we can get our foot in the door.
Okay, Looker suddenly just kind of
comes by to I don't know, do whatever the hell the Finnegans want her to do there.
Okay, Locker, then just kind of slumps over. Let's see.
So you're slumping over.
Okay, and I fell over into my breakfast. Face planted in my breakfast.
Nice.
Going full VR.
This is how you normally.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't know how to make it.
This is how I always. It softens the blow when your face hits the breakfast as opposed to the straight table.
It does. However, 6 successes for doing actually a search for city plans.
City plans specifically for the building?
That particular neighborhood, yeah. That neighborhood. I'm looking for the sewer plans for it specifically, or is what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah, you are able to find city plans for the sewers within Puyallup. For the most part, you detect that you can see the date on them are from before 2012. So hopefully things didn't shift too much, or if they did go back and fix it, see what they did. But any fixes would not have been done by the city. Whoever was in the building decided to do their own plumbing, not to make any sort of Italian jokes.
Right.
It's a me and a
but
Mario.
But probably the stuff outside of it is still the same. If we wanted to plug it up.
Potentially, yeah. You can
Okay.
see that there's a primary drainage that heads down to a waste processing plant that's located probably about 4 or 5 kilometers away, near the Green or White River.
Okay. Oh, then I pop back out of VR. What? Oh man, I gotta get better at this. Make sure I'm leaning up against something.
Or just let us know next time, and we'll hold your body against the seat so you don't flop face. You got a little something there, by the way.
All
Your
right.
face is sticky.
Well, here, and I swiped them the sewer plans with an X next to where I think the drainage would be, that we could stop up from the outside, and then I would get up and go to whatever faces as a washroom there and wash my face.
All right. When you get back, I will take an industrial mechanic roll to see if the plan is going to be one that is feasible.
As an aside, do you actually have industrial mechanic?
Yes, I do. I always grab that group.
All right, hold on.
But I only have one rank of it. I just have a ridiculous
Logic.
Logic.
Be better.
All right, you get to take an extra one, and your limit goes up.
Okay. Well, so that's 8.
Gently strokes your ego to slowly get it where you're feeling a little bit more self-confident in your ability. Like maybe you don't need the drugs to make these decisions and look things up. All right. You get a sense that the best case to block the line, if you're to block it on the main trunk, likely it's going to flood back through a number of different systems, and really you need to catch where it terminates at the street. You could probably think of a way to get a drone into the sewer system and get it up to where their stuff is at. That probably would be your safest bet, without being seen. But otherwise, you think you'd have to break it between the main trunk and the building. What does Patho look like this morning, anyway? You said you can change at will, so.
More or less the same thing as last night, because I haven't had a reason to go and put on a different disguise. I'm just a little bit more.
Okay. So what's the plan, Locker? Gonna go acquire a creepy crawly drone with a big pack of C4 on it?
That's pretty much what I'm looking up the price of the creepy crawly drones right now. What was that thing called?
I am spacing on it.
Sewer snake.
Yeah.
The Festo sewer snake.
You might have a face that may be able to help with negotiation, or maybe acquiring said drone.
Very much so. I
Yeah.
can be the group shopper if necessary.
Yeah, I got the cash, but we're gonna have to find a Festo sewer snake, and gonna have to rig it up a little bit so it can drop a grenade.
Okay, the question is, how much does it cost?
Base cost is about $6,000.
Ooh, and the availability?
Hang on, I did have that just up. Availability 10.
Ooh. It's possible.
That's okay. I only have like 20-something on dice in negotiation.
Ooh.
And I rolled like that.
Damn, it's harder to get toilet paper these days.
Aww.
So that's normally it's a 2-week.
On $6,000?
Isn't it? No, you're
I
right.
thought it was like 1 week
It's
for
1 week.
10,000 plus.
Or 2 days, sorry. I'm having a space moment. Too much bouncing between 6th and 5th. Yeah, it's 2 days normally. You can find it in about 3-4 hours.
Yeah, something like that. It's going to be like half a day.
Yeah.
Or the rest of the half of the day that we have. I can get it if you really need it. The question is, do we really need it, or do you just want toys?
No, I don't necessarily just want toys. I was thinking that would be one way to get plumbing.
Can you set it up so that there's like a traumatic backflow through the system into the warehouse?
The grenade will pretty much do that.
Yes.
I'm still not necessarily sold on this plan. Like, you are planning to sabotage the sewer system so that they freak out and let us in as plumbing staff, as opposed by handling it themselves. Maybe they have their own guys. Maybe they have their own procedures that are already set in place for handling a catastrophic situation. Maybe they're going to react completely differently. Maybe
I was thinking we just
and they go into straight lockdown.
I was thinking we just time it with the maid showing up, and I mean, if she can handle everything on her own, but I'm guessing she won't be able to, then we just we cause the sewage to explode, and then we go in and.
Then how about we also make sure that Curie is on the same plan? I can get her on the phone right now.
Yes,
And
by all means.
That would
I
make
dial
sense, yeah.
Curie on my comp.
Tell her to bring lots of hand sanitizer.
So you're having a impromptu breakfast with Saturn. Saturn is he's dressed in leather jacket that's got like stars as sort of this big furry part of the top of his jacket. He's wearing a tall pointy hat as well. He's like, yeah, I gotta look the part. It's otherwise they won't take me seriously. So how you're looking for work?
So I'm imagining Fonz with a wizard's hat.
Wow.
I'm an all-powerful wizard. What can I say?
I've been hearing our mutual friend who preferred to remain nameless. I hope that's all right.
I'm not really happy about it, but what can you do?
Told me that you've been finding a lot of placement lately with a particular company for mages. I twitch a little bit when I say it, but is that are there still opportunities available?
Well, and at that point, like, you can see his vision sort of, like, he kind of gets this stare in his eye, which you would recognize as somebody doing an A-sense. Oh, jeez. Well, it appears that you're magical. So,
yes, that's why I called you and told you I was.
well, anybody could wear the fancy robes, but, I gotta, inspect the goods.
I'm gonna look him up and down, too.
Sure, give him an A-sense. I think I want to keep Merlin. Yeah, so you can see that he is a mage. He is shamanic. He has a
So
magic.
he's a fool. That's fine.
Yep, that's fine. He has magic of 10.
That's nice.
And his mood is currently curious and reserved.
I let him lead the conversation to make himself feel more comfortable.
You can detect that he's he's playing a role for you. Like you can see like two sort of auras that are sort of overlapping.
So yeah, I'll keep observing for now and kind of let him. Like sometimes what's best to do is just sit and let them talk until, because people hate silence, and I don't. So let them like fill the silence, and usually they'll say something that they don't mean to anyway.
He after he finishes the look, and then when you flick and do the same thing, and he can see you in astral as you're sort of passing glances. He's like, well, yeah, I can find you work. It's not that hard. Or you can perhaps join my gang. We've got a few fun initiatory actions that could use a little bit of a woman's touch.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
We just met. Let's start with the job.
Oh yeah, this is a job. If you want in the gang, we have some very specific things that you would need to do. And you can see he's getting a little bit more serious at this point. Because we don't just accept anybody. We make sure we do the right thing.
And what did you have in mind?
Specifically, if you're interested in what the Merlins can do for you, we need you to... there's a particular rival that we have, and I would love for you to perhaps leave a little bit of a mark when you eliminate 3 of them.
You need 3 different targets eliminated.
Yeah, send a message. Make it magical. And he gives you some jazz hands.
I will consider your proposal, and I get up to leave.
All right, I've got other work after that. I gotta trust you.
Understood. I don't even look back. I just say understood as I walk to the door.
Okay. Ooh, he's hard to talk. So you get a call as you're walking out the door, because that doesn't really take that long.
What?
Hey, Curie, it's Patho. The boys apparently want to set off an explosive device in the sewers, and I need you to help me convince them that they're crazy and this is a bad... Also, good morning.
I kind of like have that moment. Where are you?
IHOP.
Of course you are.
I address. Actually, no, it's a Denny's.
Even better.
New soy
I'll,
waffles are amazing.
I'll head their direction.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to make your way over in that via public transit. We got to get you a vehicle at some point. Maybe a Dodge Scoot.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Soy hop. Oh, that is perfect, Eric. So yeah, the you end up heading on over. Everybody's sitting there. Looks like the discussion got not heated, but weird. Like everybody, kind of sitting there, like they had a plan, and now we're trying to bring you in on it.
I also said that statement in front of Whipper and Locker that their plan is crazy, and I need Curie to help me talk them out while I'm sitting at the table having breakfast with them.
Well, I will admit it is a shitty plan, but that's because it involves the sewers. But I mean, it was just something as a backup secondary in case the mage infiltration thing didn't work. You know,
The mage infiltration thing isn't going to work. Getting in requires another job. We don't have the time for this.
Well, so
Do you know anything else about the Finnegans? Like a prominent family member or individuals within the organ?
Somebody had rolled really well on that.
Is anybody?
Well.
Can anybody like impersonate a Finnegan?
So you know that the prominent, like the head of the family is Rowena O'Malley. Currently, the sort of the chief operating officer is James O'Malley. No, wait, James O'Malley died. I had it here just a second ago.
So what about?
But there's a number of people within that organization.
We're looking for somebody a little bit less prominent.
No, I don't care about how prominent they are. Prominent is good.
Can you if you can impersonate somebody, all we need to do then is rent a limo and we could be the bodyguards.
Do you have a picture and at least one spoken line? Just so that I have an idea as to what she's sounding like, and I'm not putting on the ridiculous shenanigans. Like, I can't do accents.
Oh, you can't do Irish. I can do Irish for you. Not a problem.
Yes. And I can just throw dice, but I mean, like...
how about we do it anime style? You can just move your mouth, and I'll just do the voice for you. Happening.
Sure, that works for me. I just need a picture and a voice sample so that I can make it work.
So yeah, you take a look. Locker is looking through the Matrix to attempt to find footage of Rowena. There's a number of pieces of footage from a while ago. They're probably about 5 years ago. A lot of the more recent stuff seems to be some other members of the O'Malley family providing commentary. So you do get a bunch of different pieces of footage.
So she hasn't appeared out for a while.
You can see her there in the background, but for the most part, it looks like she's providing opportunities for others in the family to take a leading role. You know that she's been holding the reins for the family. This is something that Pathos would know. We're holding the reins for the family since about 2058.
Wow. So, also, next question. What metatype are we looking
at? She's human.
Okay, human I can pass off well enough. If it was something like a little bit more exotic, like an orc or a troll, that's harder, and I need to go and get the disc. But humans are close enough. So I guess I take a look at the picture that has been given to me, and I hold my hand. It's like I hold my head in my hands, and you guys can probably see my hair grow out at the table because of smart wigs are amazing that way. And then I lift my head up, and my face is completely changed to mimic what's in the picture. And then I do a mock moment where like, if for any of you who have been on an airline and if you travel for the purpose of getting to a con, I can imagine that you have, where you end up with like the stewardess who is explaining the flotation device, where she like blows into one tube and then blows into the other tube and then pulls the string, and then like my chest goes out like 3 sizes.
Yeah.
And then I put on the accent. So, do you think this is going to work?
Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Did that just happen?
That's weirder.
Did that just happen?
No, it's the drugs.
Yeah, when you hear it, like it sounds like the sounds are definitely a great match for the videos from her in the past, and the mannerisms completely match her today. And so, like, depending on if her voice changed, maybe something's wrong, but otherwise, like, seems spitting. Post-edge, okay.
Oh, we may be able to black trench coat this after.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 7 successes on impersonation to make sure that I sound the part, and 6 on disguise to make me look the
All right. That is more than I am going to have in dice pools to see through it.
Nice. And other than that, I can con and etiquette and intimidation my ass off.
The only risk is mages.
Well, yes.
Or keep an eye out, and worst case, we can come up with a plan for distraction, or I mean, we could always shoot them. That's fine too. However, we can try to mask anything that we need to, or just divert their attention.
We could actually attack it. Me and the mage could attack the warehouse. She shows up. Rowena shows up with her bodyguard to get the car into safety.
Yeah, meanwhile, you don't look particularly fighty, and
Well, I'm attacking you by the Matrix.
I'm not attacking that thing by that commune by myself. That is not happening. 6 spirits, maybe less, plus mages versus me. They're all more powerful than I am. I don't have that capability. Well, maybe if I blew myself up in the process, but I'm not doing that either. So.
I think if we just rolled up and did a surprise security inspection.
I like that much better.
Present the troops. We'll see the mage. We'll take out the mage. The spirits go away. Presume whatever Decker or Spider will also be presented, but they won't be able to control the auto.
Maybe it's Corona that's affecting my mind, but I really just want to put her in a hazmat suit so that they can't read her aura.
There is ideas for that. So I think this is actually a good.
Also, then going under the assumption that whatever mage is there has already previously interacted with Rowena and knows what her particular aura already looks like.
That is true.
Like, I can still lie my ass off. If you haven't seen Rowena, you don't know that I'm not Rowena.
And she's been back for the last 5 years.
Yes,
she's
she's
back
around and doing things, but just because you're around and active doesn't mean every single Tom, Dick, and Harry in the organization is.
Also, I have the ability to mask auras. So if I if I do that, then we could just say that I'm masking your aura to look like not yours.
Yep.
The spell is active.
And hey, there we go. We already know that the Finnegans are boosting up on magical security. I've got my mage associates. There you go. We have the bodyguard character now.
Okay.
And it is not man with guns.
So it seems like we have a plan, and it seems like this would be a good time to take a brief 5-minute break.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sure.
I'm going to move it to the 5-minute in the middle, and we'll get back on the stream at 4:10 Pacific time, because that's my time.
Bueno.
That'll be 7:10 Eastern.
Awesome. All right.
Great. Thanks, guys.
You're not talking to us again.
I am the worst at this today, guys. I haven't streamed in like 3 whole weeks, and now I forget how buttons work. So hi, welcome back. This is episode 2 of our backer-produced Shadowrun game that ended up becoming more than one session because we all just had a blast. So we're about halfway through the run, and just wanted to give everyone a quick second to check in as we get settled in back from our break. So just to let any of our viewers know that have just joined us, Rem Alternis is producing a trailer for a cyberpunk fantasy series concept. We just wrapped shooting a couple weeks ago, and we're in post-production, so we should be releasing that trailer in June, and hopefully making a con circuit if Corona goes away. So we'll see. But in the meantime, just let's do a brief intro again of who you are and who you're playing. Eric, you want to start with you this time?
I am Eric DeMage. I am a Shadowrun super fan. Support as many things Shadowrun as I possibly can. And occasionally I do contributions to the Arcology, Ziggy, the Shadowrunning Trolls podcast, and a couple others. But most of the time I'm kind of in the background.
And who are you playing today?
Oh, I am playing Whipper, the physical adept with the pink mohawk.
You really have a pink mohawk?
Yes, the character literally has a pink mohawk.
So on the nose. All right. And Tom, how about you?
Hi, my name is Tom. I'm also known as Teslon Kieranhawk online. I am a Catalyst demo team agent. I got involved with Shadowrun through running games at conventions. If you've been at Origins or Gen Con, there's a good chance I've been your GM. The other part of my life is for the last year and a half, I've been doing the technology for Rem Alternis, helping Sarah out get things started with the company and doing some of the graphic and sound work for us.
Yeah, he's the one that makes our website and everything we do look so good. Welcome back, Jack. Or not. Tom, who are you playing today?
I am playing Locker. Wow, I keep screwing that up. Locker, the greenest Shadowrunner around. He is a college student IT professional who used too much chemical stimulation to help him get through college, and now his life's on a downward spiral. But he doesn't believe that. He thinks he's got a good handle on it, because he does. He's smart enough to be able to handle exactly the right amount of chemical stimulation to make his life work properly.
My character hates your character.
I'm guessing that.
Jack, how about you?
Hi, I'm Tagashi Jack. I am a Catalyst demo team agent, and I've been working prominently with the Shadowrun missions online. We right now, I believe, have 8 runs that are available for sign up on the website. I'll post it once again in the Twitch chat, so it's there for everyone. If you guys want to take a look and sign up for any of that, we'd be more than happy to have you. On top of that, today I am playing a character named Patho, who looks and sounds like whatever she happens to need at any given time, and is very good at convincing everyone whatever I need to convince them to. I could sell ice to Eskimos. I have some plan for sale if anybody wants it.
Awesome. And Aaron, how about you?
Sure. My name is Aaron. I am the friendly local GM for this game. I am also a Catalyst demo team agent, as well as one of the writers for some of last year's Living campaign, as well as this year's Living campaign to be run at Origins and Gen Con, fingers crossed. Otherwise, I've been keeping busy helping back Rem Alternis for the Chicago Shadows, and hopefully very excited to see the end results along with everybody else.
Me too. I did get an email from Red Leg, who's our film company that we produce with, that they might run a little bit behind because of COVID. They're on schedule as of now, but we'll stay tuned. If anything comes up, we'll make sure we communicate it. And I'm Sarah. I own Rem Alternis Productions, and our first big project is Chicago Shadows. We ran a Kickstarter back in July and August and got funded. So we just finished shooting. Follow us on social media and you'll get to see all the awesome behind the scenes pictures and videos, and we're all over the place. So anyway, and I'm playing Curie. Curie is a mage of ice, which reflects her personality as well. And she's originally from Britain, but she has been running in Chicago for a while and is new to Seattle. So back to you, Aaron. Why don't you take us back into the story?
Sure. So before we went on break, we had sort of gone through and dug into the who owned the building. Is there any good plumbing way out in the Puyallup Barrens? Can I get a hold of a snake? Specifically a drone snake that would allow me to bring explosives in. We also did a little bit of research trying to figure out whether we could get an in with the Merlins and try to work our way in through the Finnegan family that way. Ultimately, the Face decided that the best way to go about this would be to impersonate the head of the entire mafia for Seattle with a surprise security inspection. And so that is where we will pick up. Tell me a little bit more about, so you look it, you sound it, you got somebody to make it even astrally look it. What's the approach? Tell me a little bit more.
You're basically just going to drive up and present Rowena O'Malley, the head of the mafia, and she's going to conduct a security inspection. And then she's going to determine that she wants to move the car. We're going to take the car away, ideally. If not, then we're going to blow the place up and kill everybody inside. And then,
yeah, that actually sounds relatively fair. We go in, we assess security, we determine that it is insufficient, we chew people out, and then we move the vehicle to a more secure location.
Okay.
I think that works for me.
And if/when that doesn't work, we start hitting things really hard.
Yes.
Which is really why Eric's here.
All right. So, go ahead.
Aaron.
In preparation too, I do want to summon a spirit, and I'd like to kind of prepare all my juice flow stuff so that I can look the part of some scary security that I am not.
Actually, we'll go with, so you want to look the part of security, and that was one of the things that I wanted to bring up. From the video, you do see various security in the background of those video. You could make an attempt to disguise folks to try to match that the security look.
Are we calling for a makeover?
I still want you to be in that like gruff dude like place, and then you're just like makeovers.
You can change the voice anytime. It's a voice modulator. Doesn't take, it's instantaneous.
It helps if I hear what people sound like first, but yes.
You might have watched a
whatever
Trid.
It is that I need to be at any time. Makeover, 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 makeover.
You watch that old movie
Makeover.
Clueless?
No, I have not seen it.
Okay, and so we'll do a roll for making sure that anybody who's going in with the primary group can look the part. Tom, you had some questions?
Yep, I did. Well, first off, I wasn't planning on going in. I'd be more of use, I think, slumped over in the be more of use slumped over in the tow truck, with my Doberman sitting on the back panel with a tarp over top of it.
Okay.
Just in case we need to start blowing stuff up. Because
Well, Rowena needs to arrive in a vehicle. I presume you're going to drive it.
Well, I don't have to be there to actually drive it.
It's true.
I can be sitting in the other vehicle, remotely drive my van up.
Okay, that makes sense.
And she gets out, and somebody can get out of the driver's seat. They just won't have had any driving with it. They wouldn't have actually been driving. And because the other part of it is that there was a scene on a show called Sons of Anarchy where they made very good use of a flatbed tow truck. And if we have to go big and blast through the door, backing up a flatbed tow truck will pretty much go through those overhead doors that they have there. So that was my thought for being inside of it. But my question is, does this tow truck, does it have I'm trying to think, the claws to reach out and grab the back wheels also?
Oh, this is more of a flatbed, so it's got a winch on the back along with a cable.
Well, flatbeds also have that.
This one does not.
It does not have those claws? Because I had to actually have a flatbed tow me with my wheels one time when I busted an axle.
Oh.
And they could not, the winch was not strong enough to pull a busted axle up onto its bed.
Okay.
So we will
this one
have
does not.
to hook it up. Okay.
That's a high force levitate spell.
Is that something you can do?
I can't remember how many pounds is it per
Not that
level of force.
I think it's like 100 kilos a hit or something like that. Not a couple tons.
Yeah, it's I can't remember what it from years ago when I knew.
Well, somebody else is looking that up. Kiri, you said you wanted to summon a spirit. What spirit and what force?
For spirit?
You just have a spirit of earth lifted up.
Oh, good call. Still gonna have to be a beefy spirit, and especially like if trouble comes with these guys, we don't want my spirit to get spanked too easily. So it's gonna hurt, but let's do force 10.
Okay. All those go away in Shadowrun 6th edition.
Yeah.
That's bad. I rolled really well.
Why would you do that?
I don't have control over the random number generator.
Well, now that you rolled first, I'm pre-edging.
That's fine. I don't mind. My goal is to make you all spend edge, so success. Sorry, what was that?
And I
Jack?
get to roll 7 more dice. Excuse me.
As an aside from Teslin's post that a Corvette is 1,600 pounds, that's 725 kilos, which would make it a threshold 4 on your levitate spell.
There you go. So you could totally
A
level
threshold
take.
what?
You need 4 hits on a levitate spell to be able to lift up the Corvette. You also need
Wow.
to overcome object resistance.
Which I want to say is only 5 for that old of a vehicle.
I'm okay with 5.
Well, anyway, I pre-edge, so I have no limit, and I rolled 18 hits.
Well, there you go. That means
I don't think I've ever rolled that well in Shadowrun in my entire life.
so. That means you have a Force 10 spirit with 13 services
God damn.
And physical drain.
and physical drain.
I think I'm just gonna be like, can you get us a pizza? Like, all right. So my drain here, got it. This is the part that's gonna hurt.
It's only 5, right? Like, it's totally soakable. Totally soakable. Seriously. Well, you don't want a remote service because then it negates all the rest.
I know. Well, it's got to be like the one on the corner.
That's at Force 10.
I'm an edge monster. I have 7 edge,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go ahead and spend it on this too because I don't want to walk in there like bleeding. Fierce.
No, that seems like a good call.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine, and you have a very large. Now, did you go with Earth or did you go with a different spirit?
I went with Earth.
With Earth, okay. Yeah, a Force 10 Earth spirit has a lot of body and strength.
Damn.
So
I actually just moved the mountain. Like the mountain comes to help us.
I'm bringing Rainier in.
So we don't
Back
really
open
need
the
to
side
worry
of the
about.
warehouse is back on the table now. If it comes to
We don't really need to worry about the tow truck now because the Earth Spirit could literally just put it up on there.
You
Well,
put the warehouse on that? Yeah, you can put the warehouse
Yeah.
on the back.
Cool. I'm also going to cast Increase Reflexes because I always do that before I walk into something scary.
All right, so you start heading towards the.
It's a Force 6, by the way.
Okay. You guys start driving out to the location.
yeah, Whipper will whip up a disguise to try make himself look a little bit more like a Goomba. All right.
I think the pink mohawk's going to give you away. But you can't get rid of it.
No. He is. Let's see what the.
I love distinctive style.
It is a very distinctive style.
Okay, I will use leadership to give you an assist. And then I will say, for God's sake, put on a hat.
It sticks out the
So you would have
holes.
an extra 6 dice up to your ranks in disguise.
Oh, good lord, more six. Okay.
What's your rank in disguise? 1, 2?
My rank in disguise is just here. 5.
Okay, you can take 5 of them.
Okay. So. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
So yes. Whipper cuts out the back of his t-shirt and fashions it into a particularly odd-looking cap. And surreptitiously, while nobody had been looking at the soy hop, he cut a piece of the faux leather booth out, and he fashions it into a tie.
Okay.
It just peeps over a crude tie and some napkins into a collar that just peeps over the top of his his duster. So it looks like he's wearing a suit underneath with a nice leather top.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, Kiri, are you letting Patho make you look a little bit more the part?
I guess.
Oh no.
Well, Patho asked, and I was just kind of curious if that was a thing that you were going to be going for.
I understand the desire for it, but I am not pleased by this.
All right, Patho, work your magic to see if you can make Kiri look less the part of a Shadowrunner, and more the part of a Mafia security agent.
Okay, I've got to take off my 4 dice on this because you're not getting my false face. One moment.
Correct. You can just add a -4 modifier to the dice roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, I'm not happy with that. I'm gonna post that chat as well.
Okay.
Okay.
That's better.
You have 4 hits on a disguise to look like what we need you to look.
Awesome.
Gross.
You look better than Whipper.
Well, more Mafia-esque. All right, so you all pile in. Probably the Maricar is the closest we've got at this point.
There we go. My Eurocar Westwind is also in disguise.
All right, so you get into the Americar and you drive, because you're probably driving.
Locker can drive. Does Locker actually have points in Pilot Groundcraft?
I have 12 dice for it. Yes, I do.
Yes, you may drive my car.
Okay. So, all right. I was planning on. Did you guys want me physically in there with you?
No. You do
Okay.
you.
All right. So I'm in the tow truck. I've arranged the Doberman on the back of it, like right up near the front, just covered it with a tarp so that I can just jump into it and have it take off and give these guys support if it has to.
So we are back to my car driving my car.
Well, I can always if you give me permission, I can. You give me
Remote
marks
rig.
for it. I can jump into it.
My car isn't rigger adapted.
Why do you have it then? I'm
Because
sitting
I
over
don't
top
like
of it.
public transport or cab. They get expensive.
Yeah, but you're missing all this. I mean, where is
You're
this?
using a
Missing.
car wrong.
You could feel the car. Well, I mean, you'd have to cut a hole.
Wow. Yeah, the car's gonna have to drive itself then.
Probably the look of disgust on Locker's face. Like, oh.
Man, amateurs. I'm with such amateurs.
Locker, if it makes you feel any better, I will let you spend your own Nuyen to upgrade my car with rigor adaptability.
If you told me that last night, I would have done it.
See, Patho says
wanna
it,
see
and it
that.
sounds good.
Yeah, I wanna see that roll against against Tom, against Locker.
Sure, I can etiquette that.
I will do you a favor, and you can spend your new yen on my car to make it what you need it to be.
So yeah, you you tell Grid Guide to take your chariot to the warehouse, and you arrive. I assume you're aiming for midday, or end of day, because actually you'd be heading there roughly around 4 or 5 p.m.
4 or 5 p.m. Yeah, sounds about right.
Considering the disguises and that kind of stuff. When I never really picked a date. We'll say that it's about now. So you've got about 2 hours till sundown. Just to give you an idea of how long your spirit will last.
Okay, we've got 2 hours before we lose our muscle.
Ooh. We must hustle. We don't want to lose our money.
Unless you want to take
stay in the car.
opportunity to buy day.
So you pull into the parking lot in the back. When you do so, you see the turrets come up out of the ground and sort of aim towards the vehicle. And you hear over the loudspeaker, unrecognized vehicle. Your car is about to become Swiss cheese. Are you, I suggest you leave. I assume that you have tinted glass windows, so.
Yeah. It's kind of standard.
Yeah.
So Whipper unrolls the window and leans out. The boss is here. Let us in.
Roll your con.
All right. And my con is 8, which is not bad, considering.
Okay. Yeah, I got you, Thomas. Your con is... Okay.
That's not horrible.
What? Like, you're in an Americar. Like, why would boss not be in her limo?
I rolled down
Surprise
the
inspection. Come on, she's on her temper's a little short. Let us in.
This, like, I don't know, man. Like, there's something not right here. This doesn't look like any of our vehicles.
You've heard of the increased security we've been tasked with.
Well, yeah, the other families are always bucking and pushing.
Why would we make it obvious where we were?
Because that limo has armor, like, out to here. Oh, he's Boston.
We
Jesus.
are the armor.
Are you sticking your head out the window?
Like, her?
Yeah. Is Rowena looking out the window like, let me in, fools?
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, I'm like, do you want to keep breathing? How about that?
You hear a squeak coming over the PA, and you can hear another squeak as the garage door starts to roll up. The turret doesn't pop down; it stays up, but it does seem to not be aimed at the Americar. What you see before you inside of the warehouse is you see probably about 4 or 5 different vehicles in there. All of them look definitely pre Matrix 2. So they are older vehicles. Also, there are some antique furniture and a couple of other weird odds and ends. You don't see any people, but you can see hanging on the walls to either side 2 massive turrets, and you also find that there's a back staircase or a front staircase, depending on your point of view, basically up against the front wall that leads up into the office area. Otherwise, it is a rectangular building. Probably, let's say it's about 40 meters long and about 15 meters deep.
So as soon as we pull in, Whipper will get out of the car and sweep around with an arrogant view and start, all right, everybody get down here. All of you. Make sure you're all on duty. Come on now. Haven't got all damn day.
I shoot a slightly worried look to Rowena.
All right. Whipper needs to roll me command.
Command. Let's see. I have con, I have intimidation, I have leadership.
That would
I
be.
do not have command.
I will take leadership.
Command is a subset of leadership.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. I am going to roll leadership, but I'm going to pre-edge.
Yeah.
Oh, all the edge monkeys.
If it makes you feel any better, I only have 3 edge.
I do feel better about that.
I'm not that kind of character.
Welcome back to 5th edition, Aaron.
I know. When you have to spend 4 edge to do anything, like suddenly edge goes out the window a little more.
Yep.
All right, 4 successes. Let me go roll my.
Technically, you resist leadership with leadership.
That's right. So probably the.
Or how about this? We have Whipper who's giving the orders, and I'm there with Whipper, supposedly the boss lady, and I'm going to, in quote, assist his leadership by just yelling out with the voice modulator, also making my voice come out like 15 decibels louder than it should be. Do it! And that'll serve as an assist.
Okay, I will take that.
You may have up to an extra 5 dice. I don't know what your actual leadership score is.
10. Raw leadership is raw leadership is 7. So yes.
Okay, you may have an extra 5 dice.
Okay. Since I pre-edge, do I get to pre-edge this? Just the 5 dice.
I mean, you already
I
beat
like
me.
how we had like 5 people in this garage, and now we've called the entire commune in. So if we start shooting, oh god.
Well, we can take everybody easily except the mage. And his spirits. But if we just take the mage, then everything else is going to be copacetic. And especially since nobody's manning the frickin' auto turrets if they're all down.
All right, so you have 8 successes, as limited by your social modifier. I'll do pre-edge so it breaks the limit. They got 3 successes. I'm resisting. So what you see is you see coming down out of the upstairs. You see 2 orcs in business suits and armed with. They've got. You can see the earpiece. You can see that they are armed with some heavy assault rifles that are currently slung over their back. Followed by 3 mages. They're definitely one of them is in traditional robes. The other 2, you can see different fetishes on their business suits.
I'm in case we move, I'm gonna put a hand on Whipper's the back of Whipper's shoulder, so that he can guide me, since I can't see very well in regular world. But I'm gonna turn my sensing and aura reading on so that I can get a gauge of everyone around.
Okay. You feel free to give me 5 of those rolls as you take a look at each one. They sort of line up across the back, sort of standing at attention, or the equivalent. Like, there's sort of the deference. You can see a look of deference when they see Rowena. All right. Sarah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. All right. So the first 2 are the orcs. When you look at them, they are definitely mundane. They have cyberware Their essence is, I want to say with 3, you find out if it's higher or lower or the same. No. You know their exact essence with 3, which I don't know off the top of my head, but it's somewhere between 2 and 3 is their essence. Their mood is fearful.
Good.
And they're healthy. The 4 is the mage that's in full dress of a hermetic, so full robes of a hermetic. That individual, she has magic lower than yours. Actually, with 4, you know exactly what it is. Her magic's 5.
Okay.
Her mood is also fearful. The one that you rolled a 6 on appears to have like the mood is curious, and their magic is 6, and they are also healthy. And the last one is magic equal to yours. Currently has a head cold, and is grumpy that he has to work today.
Fair. I feel him.
Okay, so
right.
I'm gonna DNI the group. It's like I think we can do this on the low if we sell it really hard. And with that, Whipper is going to step deferentially aside to allow Rowena to, state what we want, and he will say, "Okay, ma'am, they're all here," and he just steps aside like he's afraid she's gonna fucking blow up or something.
Okay, give me a intuition plus etiquette.
Are you talking to Whipper or are you talking to myself?
Sorry, for Whipper.
Okay.
Okay. So.
All right, Rowena, what are you doing?
I guess I'm addressing the group. Well, not our group, but the group of armed guards. We've determined that we're not exactly happy with all of these valuable antiquities all being congregated into one location. We are taking them out one by one to separate, isolated locations to further protect and insulate them from attack. This way, like, not all of your eggs in one basket, kind of thing. We're taking the Corvette, and over the coming days, we're going to be taking the rest out piece by piece.
All right, so you.
I'm keeping an eye on those auras as well, because if they change, I'm going to give, since I have contact with Whipper's shoulder, I'm going to kind of give him signals based on that.
That reminds me, I have to roll. So from Rowena, I will take probably a leadership role or an etiquette role. I will take either of those. You tell me which one you think fits better for your approach.
Well, considering that I'm playing as the boss, I kind of need to use leadership because I think that's most appropriate, but my etiquette dice pool is higher.
Yeah.
So
and since she already has a follower who has helped sell her, I will assist her with that role.
Works for me.
So, Curie, you see that 2 of them pop over to Astral to look at Rowena.
I watch them to make sure, to see if their aura becomes suspicious or anything like that. But I know that they'll see me masking the aura.
Roll me.
And I want them to, I'm giving them, that eye, in Astral, looking at them, knowing what they're doing, and it's their expectation that they should be. So there's mild approval at that.
I will take those 6 successes as an assist on leadership.
So also, when you step out of the way, it is tough for you to look like you're deferring. Like, your character is able to sort of bow out of the way, but like the touch of the shoulders, like it just doesn't read all the way through. The two that A-sense, they are acting like you can get a faint tinge of suspicion off of the aura. All right, so 9 on leadership. Again, this is higher than the dice pool, so I'm not gonna bother rolling.
Nice.
So the 2 orcs and the one mage and all of the accoutrement, you can see them like sort of look a little bit confused, but then like pop to trying to solve it. And so you see the 2 orcs are basically, ma'am, like how, like we'll call our tow trucks and get them over here to move the vehicle. Like right now, where are we moving it to?
At that point, I would start driving it up to the place.
We already have our a driver that is ready to. We do not need any we do not need a further driver or a further truck. We have that arrangement has already been prepared. And as to where it is going, the fewer people that know, the better for everybody, including yourselves.
That feels like an implied threat, if nothing else.
I'm a mob boss. Everything I say is an implied threat.
The mage and the accoutrement sort of look over at the mages beside her, and it's like, I didn't know Rowena was so mean. And you see the one mage just go like, eh.
I now know what the aura of hurt feelings looks like.
But yeah, you can see that the 2 mages, they are a little bit even more suspicious. Like, so you.
I give Whipper's shoulder like I put a little more pressure just so he knows that there's some tension happening.
Okay.
So judge intentions, Whipper.
She's making a move right now.
So you're trying
inappropriate time.
You're trying to steer me to the left? Yeah, you understand what you totally understand what Kiri's after. Like that something could go wrong.
Okay.
And she's obviously hitting on you.
Anyway,
we get into a fight amongst ourselves in the middle of this group. Like, what the hell is happening?
so suddenly the rigger is frozen in his seat. Like, how'd that happen? So yeah, the orcs are falling over backwards, trying to help out you, Patho. Are you directing them, or are you deferring to your team to direct them?
I will call in Locker to come in with the tow truck at this point to go and get everything set up, and I instruct the 2 orcs with the assault rifles to give him whatever assistance he needs for this operation to move the Corvette up.
I DNI you. Is your car in the way?
No, it's been moved out of the way. You have you have access.
Okay. All right. I back in.
All
I
right.
assume they're bringing the Corvette out, rolling it out someplace.
Yeah, they're the one of the orcs goes like, "Hold on, I'll get the keys from the office." And he starts running up the stairs to go back to the office.
What do the turrets do as I pull up with the tow truck?
They're currently aimed at it, but they're not firing. Seems like they're tracking it. You have not been marked a hostile.
I'm gonna send a message to the Earth Elemental to follow the orc and report what it's saying and doing.
Okay, and it's staying on the astral? Or is it going to show up in physical?
I think it's So it's gonna stay in astral for now. Sorry, but not yet.
So it does have trouble hearing because it's not getting the sound because that's a
We
physical.
have a mental connection.
It doesn't get the sound because it's an astral.
What?
It hears a muddied version.
Oh, the guy. Gotcha. I thought you meant me telling it. I was like,
No,
what?
it totally understands you.
It's brain power.
It's like you and I, we have this connection, Spirit. Like you've got like 13 surfaces.
Don't tell me you don't understand me. You are like part of me right now.
So yeah, the Spirit basically tells you that he goes up and goes to a lockbox, and you can see that he's operating a lockbox. He's not saying anything. He's just trying to fumble, and he's a little flustered because he actually fails to input the lock like 3 or 4 times before he finally gets it to open.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, you're able to. He comes back down. He has the car keys. He puts it in the ignition, turns it. The car starts up. This terrible smell fills the garage. And you lower the back of the flatbed.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, I'm gonna try to drive this up. Like, do you have? Where's your driver?
I get out. I'd have to unjack myself, get out, and pulled it.
You hired one of the druggies to move the car?
Fuck. This is a bad idea. Who are you calling a druggie?
Like, that guy looks all strung out, man.
I don't chastise you in public for your habits. He's good.
I lower the cable real quick. The winch, so that it goes down.
Yep.
And I go in as quick as I can. I hook it on.
Give me I'll take hardware, I think. Just like looking for the professionalism of your work.
Okay, hardware.
Yeah. Basically they're seeing how I'm looking for how competent you are if I'm playing the role of the orc. Yeah, watches you quickly like rig it to the right hard points. He kind of looks like, yeah, it's an older vehicle. Like, all right, like he's doing it right. So seems to step down a little bit.
Okay. Then I just haul it back up, and I focus on what I'm doing. I'm ignoring. I'm not making. It's definitely not making eye contact with anybody, and focusing on the controls and what the car is doing to get it back up there. Because I don't want to make eye contact because that they could see my eyes, and then that's a bad thing.
So you're able to do it with your hardware 3. You get the item sort of clamped down on the table.
Okay.
On the flat top, and then you're able to sort of bounce to back into the car seat before anybody gives too much of a look-see.
All right. Then I pull it out of the. I pull it out of the garage slowly and nicely.
Okay, you're not stepping on it.
I'm not stepping on it.
I think this smells like composure.
Drive casual.
Yeah, composure.
Somebody just called you on being a drug addict.
I'm pre-edging this.
He's so focused on all this, he doesn't notice that there's like 20 comlink texts going out that are like, "Is this legit?" Like,
okay, good. I get to, because I said I pre-edged it. So it's
in case you ever. Oh, you get 2 more.
I think you can put an exclamation mark at the end of the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, when you did it with an exclamation point.
All right. So you ended up with 5 successes. So yeah, you remain composed as you drive the vehicle out. I imagine you're probably irritated that they called you a drug like a drug abuser.
I was, and then I got scared because I don't want to screw up the run. This is my first run.
All right. So you pull out of the garage. You see the turrets are still following you. Haven't fired.
Okay. I pull out a little bit, make sure that they can get out of there with the. And then I'd have to get out and put the wheel locks on it, unless they've changed them in the future where the wheel locks come up automatically.
Yeah, we'll go with it comes up automatically. This isn't a complete throwback one, but
Yeah.
Okay. Then I don't have to get out of the car. Okay, so I would just be sitting there waiting for them.
yeah, you hit a button. You have a digital readout, tells you when it's complete.
Okay. Then it would be grabbed. Then I would just pull up, and I would probably try and have it. Yeah, I would pull out in a way that they could take off and follow me.
Okay. Before you guys start to leave, one of the mages sort of pipes up and says, like, just for inventory purposes, where are you planning on taking it so that we can register it? All proper bookkeeping that you have told us many times to do.
I'd already made it clear you don't know anything in this case. Where it's going is not relevant for you.
You see all of the suspicion bells go off at this point, Curie.
I kind of do a tap on the shoulder, like flutter fingers.
Idea and I is like they're getting really suspicious. Tell
like,
a better
it's time
lie.
to go. Yeah.
Idea and I of the group, and especially to Porthos, to tell a better lie because they're getting suspicious.
Actually,
What's your name?
Lewis.
Lewis. Do you want to wake up tomorrow?
And this is the point that we've officially turned Pink Mohawk.
Not yet. Like, he's playing a mob boss. Yes, I do.
What do we say about not asking questions? Don't be stupid.
I am protecting your property appropriately and following.
Yeah, and we're protecting our property too. And in this case, you are my property. Protect yourself by not asking goddamn stupid questions.
All right.
God.
I would like an intimidate, and I will give you a +4 on that one.
Damn. That was some nice sass from you, Jack.
Thank you. I am pre-etching this.
Okay. I'm going to as well, just because, this is my last chance to get you guys.
Fight.
My dice pool is way less.
I just want them to like threaten us so I can make the earth elemental appear and have them go, shit.
Intimidation is also my lowest social mod. Like, nothing stacks with intimidation as far as this character.
Still rolled a pretty solid roll.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 dice is still more than I've got. So yeah, you are able to totally just, yep. You are going to do what I say, or else I will have one of 500 people just gank you in your sleep. And so the person, the mage, kind of goes, "Yes, miss. I'm sorry."
It's better.
Would you like me to flog myself later? He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. So yeah, you are able to sort of get out, get to your vehicle. When you get in the vehicle, nobody fires any weapons at you. It seems like, yeah, you got scot-free.
Nice.
I love a good black trench coat.
Pancakes.
Even though my character doesn't necessarily. I love a good black trench coat.
Matrix perception on the Corvette.
Oh yeah, totally scan that. Make sure there's no bugs.
I will take a matrix perception on that, yes.
I'm like, keep looking over my shoulders. I'm like, that went way too well.
And I pre-edged this.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes, you spot a bug.
Okay. All right. So I will have to. Where is it located?
It is, you know that it's located inside the center console of the vehicle. So you'll have to take apart the center console to get at it.
Okay. So then.
Or have
I
a
will
bug zapper.
Well, once we get. It's actually this question. Now I know what I'll say later on. But are we pulling away?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Okay. If we're driving away, then what I'll do, I can still keep it driving.
Aaron's face.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm a Shadowrunner now. Do the big things. While it's running remotely, I climb out around the back to the back of the bed. You're gonna want a climbing roll for that?
Because you've issued commands to the truck as opposed to being rigged in.
It sounds like a gymnastics test.
Yeah, it is.
Gymnastics.
Yeah, it is a gymnastics.
As this is happening, we're like following this truck in the car, going like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
I just have this nightmare in my mind. If it hits a pothole and he falls underneath the wheel, and we have
It is the Puyallup Barons, right?
Old Decker rigger, and our prize is just rolling off into the damn sunset somewhere.
Okay, so since I only have 3 dice for gymnastics, I'm probably gonna pre-edge this.
I'm terrified that like we pulled off this perfect black trench coat and then we fail the mission because our rigger
Got fancy.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah,
Hooray!
3 successes is enough
Oh, I
to.
thought the 10. I thought it was the 10.
No.
Okay.
The
All right.
3 successes are enough to.
All right.
As long as it
So
doesn't hit a pothole.
Yep. So I get inside and I start disassembling the console to get to the bug.
Okay, give me a hardware test. You know, the fanciest way to end a run with an extended hardware test. All right, keep going. Yeah, you've all seen him get into the back of the car. 10 minutes go by. 20 minutes go by. You guys are headed towards the Port of Tacoma. He's still in the back of the car.
Driving it right away to the Port of Tacoma is probably not the best option. We could have legitimately taken it anywhere, disabled the bug, and then drove it around for like another day and a half. We don't actually have to deliver it for 4 days. It's like the 4th day.
I haven't heard any plan other than we start driving away, and I don't know what Locker would have done.
We don't know this either. We just see like we're driving away, and we see him get out of the truck, and then like MacGyver along the side of the moving vehicle. Like,
Locker,
what
did you set the grid guide destination for?
Where my van would be.
Okay.
Oh, so back at the
junkyard parking lot wherever we left our van. Could have been outside the Denny's. I mean,
It probably would have been the Denny's.
Yeah. So we're headed back to the Denny's right now. You guys
Hey,
are
see
following.
the bug pull up to the Denny's?
So is that enough hits to
Yeah,
get
it
to
is.
it, or okay?
Yeah, you would have been able to get at it, remove the bug. You would have got it on the third pass, so that's about 30 minutes in.
Okay, so that would have been the rest of it would have been me putting it back together.
Yep. And so you're able to get it back together, and so you've got a little teeny, small device in your hands that you can do something with at some later point.
Yep. Well, there's got to be a trucker or something when we get to the Denny's.
Oh, absolutely. So you pull into the Denny's. It only takes you about 25 minutes to get to the Denny's. So you guys all arrive. He's still working on it, and then as you're like finally like approaching the vehicle, he like pops up and he's like, "I got it."
Hey, could somebody put this on a truck? It's the tracking tag. Just stick it on any kind of random truck, just so they go on a wild goose chase. And I toss it to Whipper.
Whipper takes it and walks to the nearest truck and crams it under the undercarriage.
Are you attempting to be surreptitious about it?
Yeah, I'll try and be surreptitious about it.
Okay.
I got a sneaking. Not much of a sneaking. 8.
I would have been much more ridiculous about it and just like throwing it into some arbitrary field. It's like, sure, I'll plant it on a truck.
All right. So I will check to see if anybody notices at Denny's. They are not going to pre-edge that because they're eating dinner. Or who knows what time it is. Oh, yeah, they would be eating dinner. No, they don't notice.
Yeah.
So
The waffles are just that good.
exactly.
The pancakes are just that good.
It's the Grand Slam.
Yep.
If there's just because I have 13 services that I'm about to lose for this awesome freaking like mountain man here, can I like have like him turn into be more of a playground for kids? So like he'll like lift him up and like.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of sets himself up as like a slide and a whole bunch of other things out front of the Denny's. So it's like the old McDonald's playpens, except for Denny's now has one for today.
Where should I take this, guys? Because they know it's here.
We just take it to since it's not being tracked. We just take it to the meat. Tell the Johnson we're ready to drop it off. You want it at the port at Tacoma.
So the plan is to do that right away, to delay.
Well, right now, no matter what,
we'll get a giant tarp over it though, because I don't want like to advertise classic car transport.
That would have been smart if we picked one up ahead of time, wouldn't it have been?
A tarp?
Yeah.
There's always stuffer shacks.
Yeah.
That's availability dash.
Go to a stuffer shack and get a tarp. He would just want to get it moving.
Yeah.
All right, so you go to Stuffer Shack, you get a tarp over it. Next step is either kill it. Okay.
I mean, I don't see why we need to hold on to this thing. We're gonna.
Yeah,
want to road race it or something?
Well, we could take it to a classic car show and win.
Let's
first prize.
I call up Mr. Fox.
Yeah. So he answers right away.
Are you ready to receive delivery of the parcel?
He clears his throat a little bit. He's like, "Wow, it seems that you're very quick about your work."
We want to make sure that you receive value for your news.
Oh, I very much appreciate it.
We accept tips.
Would you like to be paid direct as a money transfer, or would you prefer untraceable cred sticks?
Cred sticks are preferable.
All right. Once you drop off the vehicle, I will ensure that the guard on the Port of Tacoma security gate provides you with 4 cred sticks.
It'll take us about how long to get there?
You're about 40 minutes out.
We can be there within the hour.
Okay, I will ensure that they have that available to you.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
And so
Hey guys,
you're...
this is-
Go ahead.
Hey guys, this is great. I didn't realize Shadowruns would be this easy. I mean, no shooting or anything.
This time.
It is kind of tragic, but it happens sometimes.
It's difficult being this amazing.
I hope my next call from a fixer does not include most of you.
I'm shocked and embarrassed for you.
We love you too, Kiri.
So you are able to drive it over there. You find the security guard lets you know where to drop the vehicle off. When on the way out, when you sign the papers to say that you've been there, he provides you with the 4 cred sticks. Says, Mr. Fox sends his regards.
That should be what, 13 grand per?
That is, yeah, 13 grand per.
Nice.
As such, you will receive 2, 3, 4, 5 karma. And you'll gain Mr. Fox as a connection. He is a connection 6.
Nice.
Very nice.
And he is a fixer.
I should have called him for my question earlier. So I have this job. Do you know?
So hopefully everybody had fun.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made it through a Shadowrun game without having to roll initiative.
It happens occasionally. It's hard though.
Dryads make it a lot easier unless you're going someplace where there's just no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy
It would have
dryad.
gone a little faster if that whole impersonation thing had been known to be an option just a little
Right?
earlier.
I don't know. I still kind of feel sad we didn't get to blow up their plumbing.
Oh, you can still go and do that. Just you're doing it on your own time. If you really want me to go and buy you the that sewer snake, we can still do that. Told you, it tastes like hot
we have a giant earth elemental. It could just crawl through the tubes and push all the sewage into the building.
But by the time
Yes.
you get to the dropping the car off, like the services would have ended for the spirit. So
Yeah, totally.
Yes. However, does it shock anybody that Rowena O'Malley is personally dropping off the car that was supposed to be stolen?
Oh, somewhere en route, I would have shifted my face back to the male character I had portrayed in the Meet with Mr.
yeah, and they would have called back to base probably about 15 minutes after you left. After they've finished changing pants, and then would find that Rowena had actually been out of town that weekend. At which point they scrambled to try to find the vehicle. They got initial readings from Denny's, at which point by the time they got there, half an hour later, there was no vehicle there. So that's the behind the scene.
They may or may not in the next couple days too have 3 murders to investigate in the area if I decide to go for the gang.
With the Merlins.
We'll see.
Do you really want to deal with Saturn?
No. But I want to make you keep role playing Saturn.
I'll have to remember the voice. That's my problem with actually giving characters voices. I never remember which voice I gave them.
What's the advantage of streaming?
If they have a trademark word that you note down, you might be able to summon the voice again. That's how the actor from Babylon 5 did. What was that guy? Molari. Remember Londo Molari from Babylon 5?
Oh, yeah.
He said he always had difficulty getting into character, except for when he would repeat, Mr. Garibaldi, and then it would just come to it.
Ah.
See, the only thing I remember about that character is he at one point tried to obfuscate his identity with the pseudonym of Abramo Lincolni.
That was a great episode.
So hopefully everyone watching the streams, hopefully you had a great time as well. Just to kind of summarize, like this is part of Rem Alternis Productions Chicago Shadows backer reward. We just sort of extended it because everybody had a great time. We will continue to do these probably on a monthly cadence and maybe add in a couple other games at some point if other GMs become interested, or if I decide to run Harry Potter or Firefly.
Heck yeah.
I didn't think that was a decision. I think that was you were going to do it.
Yeah, I am going to do
you
it.
Promised.
I am going to do it. It's a matter of finding the right time. So once I commit my writing job, then I'll be able to run it.
Awesome.
Otherwise, there's a trailer coming soon.
Yep.
Yeah. So shooting is wrapped. We're in post-production. Trailer will be wrapped in about April and ready in about April, but then we'll be premiering it in June to our backers first. We'll also be setting up more and more through this quarantine for some social interaction for all of us and to support small businesses and gamers and nerds alike. So watch us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. And we're finally using our Instagram account, so that'll be starting up as well. But yeah, otherwise, stay safe in the shadows.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
good one, folks.